I'd like to introduce Colonel Leonard Scott. Colonel Scott is better known as the Old Ranger. Colonel Scott actually came up with this idea, convinced us that we needed to do it, and your service certainly warrants this recognition. In my experience of being involved in city politics and city government and federal government, I've never seen anything like this before. The Colonel says he's never seen anything quite like this before. But we are presenting today coins that are not from the city, but from Colonel Scott and his friends and the citizens around the community. Almost every organization in our community was represented in the contribution of this, and I'm very grateful for that. This is a special coin. You'll know how special it is when you hear a little bit about why we have this coin. But we call this a Stand Up for America opportunity, where we honor you as patriots with a coin of recognition for your dedicated service during the COVID crisis. This coin is also for your family, to demonstrate how important you are and were to the city while we were all locked down. You performed above and beyond the call of duty. While most of our city and community was locked down, you were the selfless heroes who got up, went to work every day, and served our town and made our community safe. We are a community. We, as a community, thank you, we love you, we appreciate you, and we will always consider you as a member of our band of brothers and sisters of patriots for Edmond. You are truly selfless warriors. The City Council has a certificate for each and every employee. Unlike most certificates of appreciation that we give from the City Council, this is actually signed by every member of the City Council. In that sense, it's fairly unique. And typically, these don't get issued to everybody. But we had a meeting Monday night, a City Council meeting, and the very first item of business was to present Chief Younger, Chris Goodman, your fire chief, and Jim Smith, this award, recognizing your efforts and their department's efforts for this. Colonel, this is Colonel Leonard Scott. You see him around the town. He's the gentleman standing out in the corner holding a flag, leaning on his walker, and occasionally had a bunch of veterans like myself. I think Nick, you did a little time out there too. But anyway, standing around, just saluting folks and veterans that walk by and all that kind of stuff. When you're out there standing as long as he stood, he gets to see a lot of things, and you think about a lot of things, yes, and that's where this idea generated. Because he saw your people working, driving by, and serving our community day in and day out in all kinds of situations and all kinds of difficulties. And during this past year, not only the pandemic was certainly a major issue, but we had the civil unrest in our communities around here and close by that we were dealing with, and we're on pins and needles. And we have our own little issues in our community too. And we also had all of the ice storm, unbelievable, and to come through all of that without losing much of any power, just a few hours for most folks, if they had any at all, and not losing any water, and going through the Arctic blast that we had last week. Who would have believed that there's 75-degree temperature between now and what it was a week ago today? I saw him that Saturday, Colonel, we were out, ran into each other in the store. And I said, we're off for next Wednesday. And he said, figured that one. Yeah. So anyway, Colonel, you want to tell them a little bit about why this coin and this honor was important to you?
I do. First of all, sir, would you stand up, please? All right, take a look at this guy, will you? That's me. That's what I look like. I wanted to say that. After 73 years, you kind of get shrink down a little bit. That's why I look at you and I'm going, yeah, I remember those days. Standing on corners. Standing on corners. It wasn't my idea. It was not my idea. the Creator, and I'm not a religious man. I was always a spiritual man. What that means is, I saw the movie twice, Bible, with Charlton Heston. I count Ben-Hur in that as my time frame of being religious. But God spoke to me. He said, get off your I had just received a doctor said, you've got some problems, you have dementia. So when that happens, you go through the 5, you think, oh, I got, not for me. It was 2 seconds long. 2 seconds, Wayfair told me that. It was a blessing to me. A blessing. Can you imagine never having to think about what's going to happen down the line? Was cancer going to get you? Or something else going to get you? Is there going to be an accident going to get you? And then it's told to you that you're on a short path. Here's a different path, that's all. And when that hits you, you look at the world totally different. Everything changes. All the expectations, all of that goes away. And you start looking back. And you want to take care of things. So you take care of your family, you distribute all your stuff, you do all of that, knowing it's the right thing to do. So when I stood on those street corners, I was told me, but I did not get a book of instructions with that. Okay? I didn't know what the hell I was doing out there. No idea. The first week, people thought I was panhandling. The second week, they came up and wanted to buy flags from me. They thought I was selling flags. By the third week, it changed. I didn't change. The people changed. And I got to see the real people of Edmond. Hardworking, trying to get to work, trying to take care of kids at school, trying to be a math teacher, trying to be an English teacher, and going back to work. And I saw you all out there. So, I knew. This thing in my head, give honor to those who honor is due. And we needed to honor you guys. We needed to honor you. Because if we honored you, and kids actually came up later on and said, thank you, then the community is a better place. It's not them, it's not you, it's us as a community. And I thought this was the way to do it. Now this coin was all Edmond. We used the crest, and we used the eagle. The eagle is that Othello's, sitting there by itself. But when I came up to it, I was looking for something ionic in Edmond. What would be the perfect thing to put on a coin for Edmond? And when I saw the name of that eagle, that artwork, it was called Above It All. Above It All. Boom! It just hit. That's the eagle. And that's why it's on there. Above it all. Because you guys were above it all the whole time. And still are. And always will be. And that makes me so proud of you guys. So, that's what the coin's about. It's a coin that says, it's hard for guys to say it, but we love you. We love what you do for us. And we respect for what you do for us. And that's important to me. Dan and I know as Vietnam veterans, we came back. We were put in the back of the airplane so we wouldn't be spit on, yelled at. The good thing about being in the back of the airplane, the gals gave us booze back there. And so that was the only good thing about being in the back of the airplane with the ladies. But I'll never forget how we were treated. And I swore if I was ever in a position that I would never, ever allow that to happen again. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Not with good people. So, the coin. All right, enough of that stuff.
Hold on here a second.
All right.
Nick Massey is also a member of the city council, and he might have a few words to say. Nick was part of the Vietnam service era too. Nick and I served in the Army. Colonel served in the Army. What units were you with?
173rd Airborne Brigade and the 75th Rangers.
And Nick?
I was with the 525 MI group in Saigon, 1968.
I was with the 24th Corps Artillery on the DMZ below what I Corps. Anyway, Nick had some thoughts on this one too. It's not often that the council will send you, you are going to get a certificate. I thought we'd have them here today, but logistics sometimes don't always work right. But it is signed by every city member of the city council. Nick was part of that, and John. The Colonel did our Memorial Day celebration, Decoration Day, out at Raceline. We drove by that just a few minutes ago. He made the most spectacular event out of that normal, sober celebration that we had. We had the ROTC guys. Everything, it was really good. I thought I was in the Army on parade grounds out of Fort Sill again. I was really impressed with it. I hadn't seen that. And this guy's first class, and you guys are first class. And you know, Nick, I've been asking you to say something, so.
I think you said it all. I'm actually glad to be part of this and come out with you guys and appreciate what the Colonel has done for everybody. He did this on his own. It wasn't sponsored necessarily by the city, and he just came up with this idea and got the money together to do it, and there's not many people would do something like that, so we appreciate that.
Colonel, would you present this to Chris? You gave him the certificate last
Yes,
night.
I did.
Yeah, but
Thank
did
you
give him a
very
point.
For you, sir. And
Thank you.
if none of us are one, are we? We got to do it together. These are your guys.
That's it. Absolutely.